Welcome back to my channel. I am Melanie. I'm a financial analyst. If you're new here, on this channel we talk about side hustles, entrepreneurship, passive income, and all things money. So today what we're going to talk about is the 70-20-10 budget. And what is it and how do I use it to save more money and have more money to do stuff that I want to do instead of bills. So let's jump into what it is, and then I'll kind of break it down into how you can put it into use for yourself. 70-20-10 equals 100%. So the 70 would be what you spend, and the 20 would be what you save, and the 10 would be payments to debt. You have to break down each category into what is specific to you. So here I kind of wrote down a couple of things that the 70% makes up. So the 70% makes up your rent or your mortgage, your living expenses, your utilities, childcare, groceries, car payments, and credit card minimum payments. So the reason why I tell people credit card minimum payments or debt minimum payments is because the debt is going to be talked about in the 10% later. But you want to calculate the minimum payments within the 70% of your spending. When you sit down and you write down everything that costs and you break your income down into a monthly 70%, make sure the 70% can cover these things that you are normally spending on. And if the 70% can't cover these things, then you're going to have to kind of tweak it. And there's other budgets that are 80-20 or 80-10-10 and different things like that. But today we're talking about just the 70-20-10 budget. The next part of the budget is the 20%. And your 20% is just what you are able to save. The way this budget works is it's telling you you have to save 20% of your monthly income. And it has to go somewhere into a savings account. You don't see it anymore. It can't just be earmarked for saving and then like sit in your checking account, because at the end of the month when you do your budget, it's going to confuse you and it's going to look like available money. Put that money out into a savings account. My advice would be put it into a high yield savings account if you don't want to open up a certificate of deposit, which is a little bit longer period of time. And if you don't have 20% to save from your income, then bring it down a little bit and you can save 15% or you can save 10%. But let us understand that we're graduating to this 70-20-10 budget if you can't do it today. Savings is really kind of for emergency. You can do two categories of savings. You can do emergency savings and you can do like a surprise savings. So where, I have to buy a new refrigerator, it was a total surprise, that'll come out of the surprise savings. And then the emergency is definitely like a real emergency. And so the emergency savings can be something like medical or something that you have to buy that is a necessity for the functioning of you and your household. You can divide your savings into more things than surprise funds or emergency funds like that. You can also divide it into investing, and then you can also divide it into a sinking fund. So a sinking fund is something that is an expense that you already know about, but it's for the future. So like a Disney vacation would be a sinking fund. So you know that the Disney vacation is going to cost between $6,000 and $7,000. So you're adding money to that savings account to go to the Disney vacation, and that's a future expense. So some of these work better when they're divided into different accounts so that you can see how they are growing. So if you say, I have 4 savings accounts and I want one to be a sinking fund, I want one to be emergency, I want one to be surprise, and I want one to be investment. Investments should just kind of be a short-term thing because you actually do need to take that money out of the savings and invest it. But if you are just trying to get geared up to save $1,000 to start investing and you want that in a separate account so you can see it, then just divide your savings account into 4 different smaller accounts so that that money is separated out. And also emergency can kind of be if you lose your job, that's an emergency. So you want to have at least 3 months of your expenses in that savings account in case you don't get a job that replaces the income in 3 months. And you can kind of use that instead of being stressed out and living off of a credit card for 90 days that you can't pay back because you don't have any income. So definitely consider calculating that in and putting that into the emergency savings. Now, finally, the next thing is the 10% of debt. So if you have debt like student loans and credit cards and things like that, try to figure out which one has the highest interest rate. And that is the one that you kind of target and say, I want to pay this one down first. And the other ones have lower interest rates, and I'll kind of pay those down secondly. But 10% of your budget should be dedicated to paying down the debt. And so you'll notice that I have savings and debt payment. The savings is actually higher than the debt payment because you don't know when emergencies are going to happen. You don't want to just pay 70% of your income and then 30% to debt, because then you have no savings at all. You have no real liquid dollars at all. Try not to adjust the 10% in debt payment. Look at your debt, figure out what is the highest interest rate, and then pay that down first. If you have a lot of debt, then consider consolidating all of that debt into one interest rate. You can do that with a debt consolidation company, and then throw 10% of the monthly income to that debt payment. Debt consolidation companies are good because they give you one interest rate. They kind of organize everything in one place. And we'll have a whole nother video on that if you guys want me to make a video on that. Back to the 70-20-10. So this is how the 70-20-10 budget is broken down. This one is way more user-friendly than the budget down to the penny, because it just allows you to take lump sums of your money and say, this is where I'm going to put it, this is what I'm going to do with it, and now I'm done. Instead of accounting for every little penny that you spent in 1 month and then putting that penny into a category. So what I would say is try this method for at least 2 months. See if it works for your budget. See if you have 70% of the income to actually cover these things. And then if you don't, you can tweak it. It could be the 80-10-10 budget, or if your income is on the higher side, you can do the 60-20-20 budget, where 60% of your income goes to all the spending, and then 20% goes into the savings, and then another 20 will go out to debt payments. So you can definitely tweak this budget. Just the 70-20-10 is the most popular right now, since we have all this inflation. Stuff just costs more money. It's not like every single person got a raise because inflation is costing us more money. Also, you can look into, there is a 50-30-20 budget, which is 50% of your income goes to spending, 30% of your income goes to savings, and 20% of your income goes to debt. This one is a little hard to do if you're just starting out, because you're asking for half of your income to go to everything that you need for that month. And a lot of people can't do that right now. So I would focus on the 70-20-10 budget if this is something that you're doing to just start out. So I hope this kind of breakdown, this little analysis, helped you with this budget. Let me know down in the comments if you're gonna try this budget, or if the budget down to the penny budget is better for you, which I talked about in another video. Just let me know what you guys think of the 7-20-10 budget, or if you're on another budget. And also like this video, and the algorithm thinks that you should watch this one next.